been reading out, I've just been reading out these US statistics talking about this massive rise. I mean, triple the number of attacks were blamed on far-right terrorists. What do you see in your studies and in your work right now?
So what's happened in the US is not exclusive to the US. Across Western countries, we've seen an increase of many years now, for 4 or 5 years, increase in the numbers of hate crimes and also right-wing extremist terrorist violence. And I attribute that to the deepening polarization, which has increased extremism not only on the jihadist side, but also on the right-wing extremist side, connected, of course, to virtual subcultures, which also seem to have played a role in this particular case, where people can connect across borders and create a sense of being part of a much bigger movement, being part of something significant, as this attacker today said, being a crusader, being someone who fights back, a member of the Knights Templars who is fighting against the Muslim invaders.
Were you, I mean, when I heard this, I was truly shocked. I just didn't imagine that in New Zealand, which has a peaceful, open, tolerant, welcoming culture. Yeah. And in fact, people are leaving, as we know, famously, big tech billionaires are leaving America to go and hide out in New Zealand for safety. Were you shocked to see this happen there?
Of course, and there isn't necessarily anything about New Zealand per se. This was an Australian person who picked, according to his own manifesto, almost in an arbitrary fashion, picked New Zealand as the place where he would carry out this attack. It could have happened in any Western country. It could have happened in any European country. It could also have happened in Australia.
This is a rise, as we've seen around the world, but it's really interesting for me because every time we've talked to you, mostly, it's about the radical extremist Islamic terrorism. Are people like yourself and law enforcement and other such agencies having to turn the ship of counterterrorism around to now focus on the equal and opposite?
Absolutely, and to a greater and greater extent. For example, in the UK last year, the intelligence service, MI5, made it a priority. For the first time in the entire history of the country, they banned a terrorist organization that was right-wing as opposed to jihadist. You see that replicated across all European countries, and it is a product of the increasing radicalization also of Western European societies.